Wow, I have to learn. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, now I'm going to at some point mute
Okay.
because it's the family's here and they're being super active.
Okay.
So,
Just let me know when you want me to start, and then I'll just start.
well, I mean, we're live on Facebook right now, but
Okay. Okay. Okay.
um, okay, let me kind of doing here. Oh, I have to turn the camera up. Okay, so I'll just introduce you
Okay.
and yeah, okay. It's hot, so I don't like the heat. So
Yeah, me neither. I feel
um,
you.
okay, all right. So welcome everyone to this week's Transformation Thursday. And this is week 140. And so I am super excited to introduce this week's speaker. This week's speaker is New York City resident, Mr. Russell Smith, and he has an inspiring account of his journey through prostate cancer. And feel free to, unless you have a hard stop at a certain time, feel free to go and share your story. Um, I I want to say how I found Mr. Smith's story was in the 1199 um, publication for the hospital that I work for. And I said,
Okay.
and I saved that. I saved this. I said, because it's good to see someone in the community, sharing their story. And so I'm really glad that, after a bit of delays or whatever, we're able to do this. So I just want to say thank you for sharing, and I hope that your account will inspire others to learn about how to diagnose themselves and to take care of themselves. I mean, my father transitioned from prostate cancer. He was dealing with it, so he's getting treatment for it and stuff. But I hope that
Okay.
your account helps to inspire others to um, do what they need to do. Okay, you can go right ahead.
Okay. Well, my name is Russell Smith. I was born in Harlem and raised in the Bronx at the Castle Hill section. Um, I been working for Montefiore Medical Center for the past 30 years. Um, and it's been a struggle, but I'm surviving. So I'm gonna take y'all back to 6 years ago. Um, just to let y'all know, there's cancer on both sides of my family. So growing up, I was always conscious about possibly catching it. So I always exercised, I always ate right, I always checked my body for lumps and bumps and things of that nature to possibly indicate any sign of cancer. So I was very proactive in that sense. Um, so throughout my life, I've been single and I have a son, but pretty much I've been, just living my life, doing me. And it came to a point where I started feeling sick. Um, and I'm never sick. So it kind of like sparked me to go to a urologist. And what really alerted me was that there was, like I said, during my life, I've always been checking for lumps and bumps and any signs of cancer. So one night, I'm taking a shower, and I noticed that there was a small little bump on the left side of my pubic area that was growing. And then it started to hurt when I urinated. So I thought that was strange. I thought it was like a ingrown hair bump that would just pop with pus and I'd be fine. But that didn't happen. So 2 weeks later, another bump started growing on my right side of my pubic area. And that too started to hurt when I urinated. So now I'm like, all right, something ain't right. So I called the urologist here in the Bronx um, to see what was going on. And he did the rectal examination and didn't find anything wrong. So then he ran my PSA test. It's a prostate strategic antigen test, which tests any man blood for cancer, any signs of cancer. So he ran that test, and he came back with the results and said, "Listen, your prostate levels are at a 5. Come back in 2 weeks so I can run it again." So now I'm like nervous. I'm like, okay, all right. So I come back 2 weeks later. He runs the PSA test again, and now it's a 6. So he says, okay, come back in 2 weeks and I'm gonna run it again. I said, no problem. So now I'm like, now that is rising, I'm getting real nervous. So I'll come back 2 weeks later and he runs it again. Plus he did the rectal examination and he didn't find nothing wrong, but yet my prostate levels was rising. So now it's a 7. So now he says, okay, Mr. Smith, we got to do a biopsy. I'm like, what? A biopsy? Now, to me, I didn't know what that entailed. I didn't know what the pros and the cons of that. I never had that done to me before. So now I'm frantic. So I put it off for a month. I mean, I was, I know I'm a grown man, but yet I was so scared of going through a test like that. It was scary. So I put it off for a month. The neurologist called me back and he was like, listen, Mr. Smith, you got to come in here. Being that your levels are rising, you have to get this done ASAP. So I said, okay, no problem. So I went in, had the biopsy done, and it was an experience, to say the least. 2 weeks later, called me in the office. I went with my family and my mother and my sister. And he based the results on the ultrasound, the CAT scan, and any other tests I had done previously to the examination. He came back and said that I was positive for prostate cancer. That destroyed my life. My mother was on the right side of me, and she just broke down in tears because he had indicated that based on my CAT scans and my ultrasounds and my x-rays, that I had cancer in my bones as well. And that there was nothing they can do for me but give me a shot called Lupron. Now, Lupron is a drug that stops the cancer from spreading to other areas in your body. So he indicated that all he can do for me was give me a shot of Lupron for the rest of my life to make me comfortable, to stop the cancer from spreading to other areas of my body. And that was it. And I'm welcome to seek a second opinion to any other urologist, but they just going to tell me the same thing. So basically, he signed my death warrant. I mean, basically, he said my life was over and that there was nothing I could do. So, I told my family and we all prayed in the car and they dropped me off home. And, excuse me, I get emotional every time I tell the story. I just dropped down and started praying. I just started praying and pleading to God to save my life. I was broken at that point. There was nothing I can do. So, needless to say, that night I was distraught. I was broken. I prayed all night. That was on a Friday, so all weekend I shut my phone off. I didn't want to hear from nobody. I just prayed. And Sunday night, I heard a voice in my head to tell me to keep fighting. That this is not over, to keep fighting. So got up that Monday morning and I called every cancer hospital in New York City. And Memorial Sloan Kettering was the first one to contact me and to tell me to send them all my results. So I did that, and they gave me an appointment 2 weeks ahead. I sent them all my results. They looked them over. They said, okay, we're going to give you an appointment. It's in 2 weeks. I said, okay, no problem. But during that 2 weeks, it was torment for me. I didn't know if I was going to survive, if I was going to live. It was hard. It was hard. So fast forward to 2 weeks. I went down. My sister went with me. So they told me that they have to do the tests, all the tests all over again. PSA, the ultrasound, the CAT scans, the X-rays, and they examined my results, and they told me to come back next week, the following week. So I went again, and I did all the tests during that week that they had to perform, because they said they had to make their own assumption, their own diagnosis. They wasn't going to go on what the urologist here in the Bronx had indicated. Had to do your own tests. So they called me back, come down. My sister with me again, and we're sitting in the doctor's office. And they said that it could save my life. That the urologist mistook for cancer in my bones via the X-ray and ultrasounds and the X-rays was incorrect. It wasn't cancer. It was arthritis. It was arthritis. So me and my sister burst out in tears. And they said it could save my life. All they could do is remove the prostate full of cancer and I will be fine. I lost it. I just broke down in tears and I thank God.
Um, so you're saying the urologist was wrong, or he had to change his diagnosis?
He was completely wrong. I mean, I had prostate cancer, but not in my bones. Not in my bones. So that was the pivotal moment for my life. So they gave me a date to come and have the surgery, and they did put me on the drug called Lupron, just in case, just to make sure that the cancer didn't spread to any other areas of my body. It was only for a little while, and they put me on the other cancer medication as well. So I did that. I did the surgery, and when I woke up from the surgery, the doctor came in and said, "We removed all the cancer. You want to live." No radiation, no chemo, just the surgery. I didn't need no radiation, no chemo, nothing. Just the surgery, and I was fine. So I walked out the hospital with my family, and with a new life, with a new life. And I owe all to God, all to God. So as soon as they gave me the clearance, that was fine. All the cancer was removed. They took me off all the cancer medication, and I started feeling a lot better. you know, and that sparked me to write a book. Being that God blessed me, I got to share my blessings. I got to help other men who's possibly going through the same thing, struggling with the same thing, and just help others. You know what I'm saying? Um, it was a very traumatic experience for me, and for a man to go through something like that, it messes with your mental health, because then you worry about your quality of life after that ordeal, because that's what it is. It's an ordeal. I just is I did everything right. I exercised, I ate right. I checked signs for cancer all over my body, all my life. But it was genetics. It was just in my family. It was genetics, and I couldn't help it. And the doctor indicated that being that I was healthy, that played a big part in my recovery, because I recovered quick. You know, and it was like, thank God you stayed healthy, you ate right, you exercised, you meditated, and you did everything right throughout your life. And I was like, thank God, thank God. You know, and I just have a message for all the men out there. I know we all have this, especially black men. We are raised to have this macho attitude, whereas we don't like to take care of our health. And we have this stigma of going to the doctor and having him do the rectal examination, you know, and that's prevent us from seeing if our prostate is lumpy or any side effects. But you don't have to have that done. You can just go get your regular checkup and ask your doctor for a PSA test, which check any man blood for cancer, which is more accurate. Because if you don't, you're gonna wait till it's too late. And then your life is gone. And you lost your family, you lost your friends, you lost another chance at life. So I was glad that I was proactive with my health growing up and becoming a man. It taught me to always check your health. Now, had I not did that, my situation possibly could have been worse. So it was a very trying time for me, you know, and any man out there that's going through it or that's been through it understand what I'm talking about. You know, every man worry about the quality of life after that, because a lot of men, they suffer with urine and bowel continence and ED, which is erectile dysfunction, after such a process. And I can happily say, thank God that I didn't experience any of that, which is why I'm so blessed. I'm fine. Like, it's like nothing ever touched me. And I can get on with my life. But a lot of men are not as fortunate. And that's why I wrote my book, Tragedy into Triumph, Surviving Prostate Cancer, to share my blessings with anyone who's going through it, anyone who's suffering right now from it. A lot of men are living with it, and they got to take all the drugs and prevent the cancer from spreading to other areas of their body. And that's no way to live. But a lot of men are living that way. And a lot of men are suffering with urine and bowel continence and ED, which is, as a man, is no way to live. And I urge all women that has a male figure in a family. I mean, y'all all have fathers, brothers, uncles, nephews, sons, cousins that may benefit from this information. So I just urge everyone, men and women, to research prostate cancer, the pros and the cons, the side effects, the drugs, the prescriptions, the quality of life afterwards, and educate yourself. So just by any chance you may come across that diagnosis, you know exactly what to do. Because I didn't. I was lost. And once I was diagnosed by that urologist here in the Bronx, I researched everything on prostate cancer. I mean, everything. I researched everything on cancer-causing foods that we eat every day, on drinks that we drink every day, like soda, fruit juices that have a lot of sugar in it. I researched everything that we consume every day, and basically everything is cancer causing. So after I was cancer free, I changed my diet completely. Fish, vegetables, fruit, smoothies. I just changed my diet completely. I exercise 4 times a week. And another thing, while I was fighting this cancer, I had to take stock of my life. And I had to reevaluate everybody that was around me. Family, friends, coworkers. And you'd be surprised when you fighting a disease like that, an illness like that, you'll be surprised how many people's in your corner. Nobody was in my corner, not even family. I had about 5 family members who held me down, who supported me. I had about 2 friends that checked on me every day to make sure I was okay and if I needed anything. But everybody else was completely gone. And that broke me. Aside from the cancer, that broke me and made me realize that everybody in your circle is not in your corner. So now I keep nothing but positive people around me, positive energy, and my life is so much better. My quality of life is so much better. You know, I take long walks in the park, I exercise, I do all the things right. I mean, once I was cancer free, you have no idea how you take everything for granted. You do. You take everything in people for granted. Just to walk in the park, just to feel the cold air on your body, just the color of the sky. I know it sounds corny, but everything was like, yo, it was like, I looked at everything so differently once I was cancer free. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like God granted me a second life to appreciate life, to appreciate my family, my son, my friends, the real friends. It was a blessing. It was a true blessing. I'm gonna tell you something. Going through that ordeal, I truly felt God. He was around me. I'll never forget. When it was time for the surgery, I had the nurses come and get me to take me upstairs to the OR, and they could see I was scared. And this one nurse held my hand, and we just started praying right there in the hallway. We just started praying in the hallway. And by the time I went in that OR and lay down on that table, I felt God all around me. So I knew I was gonna be fine. I just knew. There was no question. And I woke up cancer free. And I owe it all to God. And you know, that's why I wrote my book. I put everything in my book, all the cancer causing foods that you should just don't consume anymore. Soda's a #1 killer. Red meat, #1 killer. Negative people, toxic people, number one killer. That they friends, co-workers, even family. Cut them off. Cut them completely off. And your body is really your temple. It really is. What you think, what you feel, what you consume creates a healing factor in your body, negative or positive. You know what I'm saying? If you drink soda all the time and eat red meat and you're around negative people and you're doing all the wrong things, it's gonna affect your overall health. Because while we researching cancer, I learned that stress, anxiety, red meat, stress, smoking, drinking, all that creates mucus in your body. And that mucus turns to heart disease, cancer, diabetes, all that combined turns to illness. So if you can like just try it, just remove all that from your diet and from your life. Give yourself like a month. You'll feel the difference. You'll feel the difference like I did. And also meditation. Meditate. Get into your inner spirit because that is God. Take long walks in the park by yourself. Get in tune with yourself. Go exercise, build up your body, your mental, your soul, your spirit. Build all that up and you'll see the difference. Don't wait to get an illness or a severe diagnosis to change your life. If you're fine now, incorporate all that positive stuff in your life now so you don't have to face that trauma or that illness. Combat it now. Fight for your life now because you all get one life. God blessed me with two. So I'm using this second chance at life to help others, to inspire others, to wake others up, to realize that, listen, it's not too late. You still have a chance to change your life around. God bless everybody with free will. So just change it. Free will. And just live your life. That's it.
So one question, from the time of diagnosis to the time of you writing your book, what was that time period like from when to when?
So the time I was diagnosed and became cancer free, it was a matter of 6 months. After I became cancer free, a family member of mine, he indicated that my cousin, he said, Russ, you've been through a traumatic ordeal. It would be a great idea if you write this book and inspire others. You know, I was kind of reluctant at first, and I was like, don't want to put my life out there like that, you know? And he was like, listen, you're a testimony. You should do it. And I said, okay. I said, he convinced me. So I said, okay, no problem. I'll do it. And mind you, writing the book, I had to relive the entire ordeal over again. Now, mind you, it was just 6 months later. So writing the book, I had to relive the whole ordeal all over again. And as I'm writing the book, you know, I'm tearing up, crying, I'm going through the emotions. But I got to tell you, God was helping me write this book. God was helping me write this book. It just kept flowing. It was flowing. It was so easy. I say it took only 3 weeks to complete the book because I was on it every day. And it was like I said, God was like writing that book for me, And it was a blessing. It was truly a blessing. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I work for Montefiore. So Montefiore has a program where they have a retreat for people going through traumatic ordeals and issues in life. Yes. So I went to this retreat after I became cancer free, and I told my story, and I had everybody in the room crying. And at the end, everybody like was inspired, you know? It was like, wow, they would just congratulate me on surviving such an ordeal. And at the end, I gave everybody a free book, thanking them. And it helped a lot of people. It helped a lot of people. So I'm blessed in that sense, and I'm thankful. I'm very thankful. Next question.
I want to say that since I've been doing this Transformation Thursday, it's only
Mhm.
one other time where I felt a little emotional, and it's like both times it's been with men.
Okay.
The other account was with a brother who had been shot in the face and died, and shared his afterlife experience.
Wow.
And this it's First, I just want to say, someone commented on Instagram. I'm just trying to find it. They said, "Thank you for your transparency and your vulnerability." And I second, third, five, six, seventh that. Thank you so much. I can't. Um, I cannot imagine, but I definitely agree when you said this is your testimony. It absolutely is your testimony. And to be someone from the community sharing this story, and I tagged a lot of men on Facebook. I don't even know them, but I have Facebook friends that are guys, and just like tag them in this, and I've been sharing this. Just hear his story, just hear his account, and I hope that it would encourage them to
Yes,
get
please.
the I was in some post, I don't remember, some Facebook group, and the men were like, "I'm not doing that." Like, wow. And
Exactly.
like, for what, a 2 minute or whatever thing, like,
2 minutes.
They refused to do
Crazy.
it.
Right. It's crazy. It's crazy. And another story I have is when I came back off of disability, I went back to work, and a manager at Monty, I was going to lunch. And let me tell you something, while I was fighting to get my life back, once they cleared me off the medications and cancer and everything, I went back to the gym. I worked out, I bulked up. Um, so when I came back to work, it's like nothing ever happened to me. And this manager came to me. I was going to lunch. He stopped me in the street. He was like, "Listen, whether you realize it or not, Russ, um, you're a walking testimony for a lot of people." And I just burst out in tears because I didn't realize that I was doing it for me. I never realized that I would be a testimony for somebody else. I was doing it for me. And to hear that, oh my God, I hugged him. And he was like, "Russ, you don't know what I'm going through. My wife was just diagnosed with breast cancer. So you're like a walking testimony. So I have hope." That meant the world to me. So I just hugged him and said, "You know what? God knows your pain and he hears your prayers. He's gonna bless your wife." I said, "You need anybody to talk to, man. You know somebody to talk to, just come by my cubicle and we can talk, we go out to lunch, whatever. I'm here for you." And we did that a few times. And a few months later, his wife was cancer free. He hugged me. It was a blessing. It was a blessing. Still here.
Yeah, I had to plug in the charger.
Nah, that's fine.
Too much power. The testimony was too much power.
That's fine.
Um, so someone on Instagram saying they are agree. and that they also have some acquaintances who dealing with the situation as well. And
Okay.
someone else on Instagram is getting very emotional, um, over your story. And I like to tell people, stories heal. You
Yes.
know, you may not want to talk or feel bad, or nobody wants to hear my story. Stories heal. Stories
Yeah.
heal.
And if I can use my pain and my suffering to save one life or to wake up one person, then I've done my job. I don't care how it makes me look. I'm not embarrassed at all. Um, that's why God blessed me, become a testimony for others. And that's why I agreed to do the interview. I mean, if I can reach just a handful of people, then I've done my job. I'm fine with that. But everybody needs to wake up, especially African American men. I mean, prostate cancer is on a rise in that group. We really are so ignorant and macho about getting this test done, but you don't need to get the rectal examination. Just get the PSA test done, the blood test. That's it. Take 2 minutes to know your cancer levels. If it's 0, you're fine. If it's above 5, there's a problem. But at least you have the knowledge. At least you know you can do something about it.
So do you feel, what do you feel are some of the reasons why, if it's something that they know that can save their life, why do you think there's this hesitation?
Because I mean, most men have this, like I said, this macho attitude where they don't want no doctor to put no finger back there, which I can understand, but a lot of them don't know that don't have to be done. The blood test, PSA, which is more accurate anyway. So why not just have that done so you can know your cancer levels? If it's 0, then you're fine. If it's above 5, you can do something about it. But at least you know, you don't have to wait till it's too late, until the cancer done broke through the prostate and spread to your liver, your spleen, your bones, and then there's nothing to do but pray for yourself. And now your family's destroyed, your wife, your kids. Well, you could have prevented that just with a simple blood test. And again, us men, we so busy. Um, I'm gonna jump on the other side of it. I mean, us men, what we do is we so busy with work, taking care of the family, bills, um, just life in general. Like a lot of men forget to focus on their health because of that fact. You know, a lot of men do work out. A lot of men do work out, but that's the outer. What about the inner? What about making sure you don't have diabetes or high blood pressure or cancer or anything like that? I mean, to me, it's really no excuse. I mean, we all do it. We all pay bills. We all got bills we got to pay. We all got family. We all got jobs. We all got stress of life. But never forget to focus on your health, because without your health and your mental health, everything else is pointless.
I see that Mr. Terrace Strength has joined. I don't know if you remember him from the men's event. Mr. Strength from Philadelphia. Hello.
Hey, I can't see my face. Am I on here?
Did you press the stop video or click the stop video?
I just stopped.
Yeah. It says start video on the bottom. It might be next to where your microphone is. Okay. Okay, I guess we might be.
Uh,
Yeah, do you see on the bot, there should be like a little camera
oh,
icon.
I said, hold on. I said, hold on. Background edit.
I mean, that's fine. You could just ask the question. You could just talk.
So, um, what were your like friends' reactions to this? I know you said there was a lot of alienation, but did you have any friends that were with you during this time?
Oh yes, I had two good friends who made sure I was okay, um, and checked on me periodically to make sure that to see if I needed anything. And my family came over and cooked for me because after the surgery, it was very painful. I couldn't really walk after that because of the catheter and the pain in the stomach, because that's where they removed the prostate. So it was painful to walk, to even do anything for myself. So my family came through and supported me that way. I also had friends who checked up on me and came by to make sure I was okay. Um, so I was blessed that way as well. So I was fortunate.
So there was one comment here on Facebook. Prayers, everything, and thank God you were able to not give up and seek other options, that you didn't just take what the doctor said and like that was it. So
Exactly.
you made a decision to, look for other options.
Correct. And I'm not gonna speak negatively about physicians, but sometimes you do need that second opinion. You know, sometimes they do get it wrong. They do get it wrong, like in my case. And the only reason why I sought that second opinion because a voice, I swear to you, went off inside my head that night and said, listen, this is not over. Fight. And once I heard that, I said, you know what? I got up Monday morning and I contacted every cancer hospital in New York City, and Sloan Kettering returned my phone call. And my story is so inspiring. They put me on the cover of their cancer magazine. Yes. And he read an article on me as well. Yeah. I'm on the cover of an 11.99 Cancer Survivor magazine. Yes. And Montefiore ran a story on me. 11.99 is always running stories on me. The Bronx News 12 did a video. Yes, the Bronx Times, Bronx 12. I mean, yeah, I'm out there. I'm out there. Yeah.
That is amazing. So have you any other speaking engagements to learn about prostate cancer?
Not right now. I mean, I have a company that's trying to Montefiore has a cancer center that wants me to come through and speak on occasionally, every so often. So I accepted that. So I'll be doing that as well.
And so why do you feel that some of your friends kind of moved away when you were going through this? Do you think, I know this may sound irrational, but if they felt that maybe they were around you, it would happen to them?
No, that's kind of weird to even think that as an adult. I mean, you know,
Be- Yeah,
it's
but
kind of
you just,
weird. It's just that, well, my opinion is that they wasn't really friends. As you already know, when you go through something traumatic like that, it don't have to be a disease. It could be you get kicked out of your house, you're homeless, you lose your job, anything like that. You find that a lot of people you think are really in your corner is not. Even friends, coworkers. A lot of people are really not down for you as you think. And all it takes is a traumatic experience to make you realize who's really in your corner.
Hi, Mr. Strength. Again, thank you for being here. Was there something you wanted to contribute or to comment on?
No, it's a powerful story, for sure. Like I said in the chat, I had three of my friends. I had like four male friends. Three of them came down with prostate cancer. A guy that I went to grade school with died from prostate cancer. It's an epidemic within the Black
Yes.
community.
Yes, it is.
Uh, and uh, and so this is a powerful story for sure. Uh, I was just sitting here thinking about the question you asked him about his friends and why they. I think you said that they abandoned you, or
Yes.
they weren't around.
Nah, not at all.
Yeah, that's a
Only
lot of that.
two. Only two friends came through for me. Only two.
Yeah, a lot of that is fear and immaturity amongst us.
And
Is what it is. You know, not knowing how to reconcile and not knowing how to be there for each other as men, which is something that we definitely have to work on and be better at, because somehow it's not cool or it's not masculine to support friends when they're going through
correct.
something. First of all, we need to do more of that in the first place. It shouldn't have to be that serious of an issue in order for us to do that. But, you
Correct.
know, we get caught up in what we think is masculine, you know, and it's just a bunch of foolishness. But despite that, you know, it permitted you to have an opportunity to see who was in your corner and who wasn't in your corner, and you had to dig deep to evolve past this. So
Correct.
this is a celebratory story. Is what it is, you know, and it's amazing. Uh,
Thank you, brother.
absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, I've had three of my friends came down with it. They got past it. You know, they recuperated from it, but one of them died when he was younger. He died from prostate cancer because he didn't deal with it and everything. So
My condolences, man.
yeah, so it's very serious.
But I'm gonna tell you something else though. After I was cured and I went to the gym, I changed my diet, and I appeared on the scene like nothing touched me, and everybody's seen that. The friends, they started trying to come back around again, trying to contact me again. I was like, no, thank you. Keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need you now. Keep it moving.
Right,
You know,
right. Yep.
that's how it is. It is what it is, man. You know, now they see me now. You know, I'm doing speaking engagements. My book is selling nice. I have a online healthcare social networking site for healthcare workers called MediNetUnited.com for healthcare workers that teach them how to live longer lives and connect, unite, social network. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing good things for the community. And now they're trying to come back around. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it
Good
moving.
for you.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, good for you.
Thank you.
So they just try to come around like nothing happened or like it
Correct.
was safe, like it was safe.
Correct. Correct. Nah, keep it moving.
That's powerful. One of my friends, when he came down with it, he called me up and told me that he was going into the hospital for it and everything. He gave me a call by himself. It was just him and I. And he said, Terrence, listen, here's what's going on. And he knew I would want to know.
Right.
He said, I'm letting you know right now, you know. And so him and I had conversations about it and everything,
Right.
you know. And I'm kind of a weird dude anyway. So, you know, you know,
Right.
my life is weird anyway. You know what I mean? I
Right.
get called,
Right. Right.
they gonna seek me out. So I'm something else. You know, I'd have been the one been talking to you. Listen, you know, what's going on? My friend was like, you know, I told him we were talking because we get into all this metaphysical stuff. So I was like, Shango, what's going on with you, man? That you're creating, why are you creating? He said, I don't know. I don't know. I said, you're gonna be all right. And he was.
Yeah. Right.
He was,
Right.
you know.
And I'm gonna tell you, I had a coworker too. It's an older gentleman, Hispanic older gentleman. Name is George. And I listen, man. Oh my God, when I came back, I got the diagnosis right. So when I came back to work, I was distraught. I was in my cubicle. I was trying to work, but I was just tearing up, and I was distraught. So he had stood up, and he said, "Russ, what's the diagnosis?" And I said, it's positive for prostate cancer, you know. And he came around to my cubicle, and we both started just crying in front of the whole office. And he said, "Listen, when you go through something like that, your mental health could suffer." He said, "I have the number to a therapist that I want you to talk to." So I said, "Okay." And I never, again, as Black men, that's not us. We don't talk to no therapist. I never spoke to no therapist about my problems. It was like exposing yourself to somebody that you don't even know, to a stranger. You know what I'm saying? And something like this, I was like, nah, I said, nah, I'm good. So then a week later, he was like, "Yo, Russ, man, did you call the therapist?" I said, "No, and he kept on bugging me because he saw that I was suffering. And I finally just called her up, and I went in, and she was the most down to earth, realest person I ever met in my life. And me and her cried together. We hugged together. We became so close. We are friends to this very day. And she helped me out a great deal to get a lot of stuff out that was bothering me, not only about the cancer, but about my life. It was so exuberating. It was like a weight was lifted off my shoulder. Not only based on the cancer, but based on everything negative that happened to me in my life. It was so therapeutic. I was like, oh my God. And we met twice a week for months. And even after I became cancer free, I still went to see her. I thank God for her. I really do. And that's another thing. For the men out there, you don't have to fight a disease to go seek therapy. We deal with a lot in life. Like I said before, job, taking care of family, the stresses of life, and you can't carry all that weight on your shoulders by yourself. You need somebody to talk to, or else you're going to blow up, or it's going to affect your health. Stress creates heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, and it's going to affect you at some point. So if you can stop it from affecting your health now, then do it. Get the PSA test done. Talk to a therapist if you're going through issues. And for women too, women have two jobs. And I big up to all the women. Got two jobs. They 9 to 5, and they come home and they got to take care of the kids and take care of the family as well. And they got bills too, so it's like all the stresses of life can affect anyone, men and women. You know what I'm saying? And that stress can turn to disease, any type of form of illness. You know what I'm saying? Everybody need an outlet. Aside from, the alcohol and the smoking and the partying and all that is irrelevant to life. You want a good quality of life? Cut all that nonsense out and get into your inner spirit, your inner being. Keep positive people and energy around you constantly. Watch what you put in your body. Exercise, build up your inner and your outer. And just keep it moving. And you're going to live a long and healthy life. I promise you. Promise you.
I truly appreciate you making those comments about therapy, because when you hear it from another man, of course, it's going to be received differently. But yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And You're definitely getting a lot of appreciation on Facebook. Definitely
Glad.
have more people checking in and agreeing. What do they say? Oh, having support is so, so important. You sure don't need all that stress, and it could harm others in your circle of people. Yes.
Correct. Yes, definitely.
And Mr. Terrace, you said people who move away are immature. Are they immature or are they scared?
Both.
And I would say ignorant.
Yeah, both.
That's a stronger word. I mean,
Because for a lot of us men, we don't know how to be nurturing. That's the time to become nurturing. When one of your brothers is down and going through that, most men, we act like it's not cool to be that way.
correct.
You realize it makes you more of a man to be that way. You know, to be able to hug your brother and support your brother. You know what I'm saying? And
Correct.
that's fortunate, so you gotta clean house and get you some more higher quality men around you, obviously, which seemed like that kind of happened. Okay. And because a lot of it for a lot of us it's just immaturity. We didn't see it, we weren't taught it, and we're not trying to learn it. And then when these situations arise, they arise to help us to move towards expansion, to move towards
Correct.
development. And we have to make a choice to say we're going to go right or left. And many of us do something stupid or don't do it at all, not thinking that it could happen to us. And how will we feel? How are you going to feel? So, but when you become a conscious man or a more evolved man, you know, you tell your brothers you love them in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I have a bunch of friends, we don't always agree. I'm the one in the middle. I'm the spiritual guy. He is on one side. I got a staunch Christian that trains pastors on the other side. The Christian calls me Beelzebub half the time. He's my friend, but he's funny, right?
Right.
Yeah, the pastor calls me all the time for advice and opinions on different topics, which makes no sense. I got the atheist calling me. I'm in the middle. And I'm the one saying, bring it in here. I'm the one giving hugs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the funny thing about men, once men see that you're serious about trying to be that, they begin to appreciate. At least that's my experience. They appreciate it. They may try to act like they're cool, but they know that's me and that's what I bring.
Correct.
We need more of that. You know what I mean?
Agree.
To be more, my male friends hear me say that I have a desire to want to be more loving, right? You don't hear too many brothers say that.
True.
To another man, right? But my thing is, I have to practice. You know what I'm saying? So it becomes automatic. It's not about me being effeminate or anything like that. It's not about that at all. It's about me trying to be more evolved. And we got all this pain out here, all this mess going on out here. We need to be trying to love each other more and hugging brothers and everything more. Then it ain't hard when something serious happens. You know
Correct.
what I'm saying? It's simple as that. And, we have to take it upon ourselves to be examples of this. And so you sharing your story, you're an example of this. This is a transformation for you. I don't know what you were like before this, but certainly you're something different after this.
Correct.
And that's why it's such a powerful situation. It's a powerful story. You should be applauded. But more importantly, it's made you more compassionate towards other people, right? It's
Correct.
made you accepting, right?
Correct.
And so
Correct.
that's how it is when these things happen. So this is real. I love to hear stories like this and everything. And
Thank you, brother.
and just and really try to put that slant on it. Because we gotta grow up and stop being knuckleheads.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Yeah, exactly. And it pains me, not to go off topic, the cancer thing, but when you read the news and you see the newspaper every day, you see the news on TV, and we're still killing each other, man.
Yep.
For what?
Yep.
For what? And then the young boys out here are so lost, man. They still killing each other for what? And it saddens me, man, because it's like this is 2023, brother, and some people still do not get it. They don't get it, and it's like, oh man, all the time I walk through the street, and I see another brother. I'm like, it was cool, brother. Have a good day, man. Don't know him from a hole in the wall, But then he's shocked, like, oh my God, like, I don't even know this dude. Like, but then he'll say, oh, you too, my brother, you too. But we got to do that more often. So it won't be looked at as being weird.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It starts with you. It starts with me. It starts individually as men. You know, I focus on the people around me that I see every day. That's where I start. You know what I mean? At my job, I start telling them at work that I love you. I got a brother there. He's so angry. I'm telling you, he's going to get himself killed. He's full of rage like you can't believe. And I told him, I said, listen, I said, you got to really go. I said, you got to seek some therapy and release that anger and rage before you won't be here for your daughter. And I gave the brother a hug. I said, come here, bring it in. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, I'm telling you, brother to brother, black man to black man, you got to do something with that anger and rage, you know, and everything. And so this change starts with us individually. It starts with me. You know, I set the table. That's how I look at it. And each of us have to set the table. Each one of us have to set the table. You're setting the table because of your experience, and maybe even before that, I don't know. But you're definitely setting the table now. You know, and we have to do it. You know, we have to put love out there.
I agree, brother.
Yeah. Yep.
I agree. That's why I wanted to do this. You know, this is not my only speaking engagement, but I've been speaking to people all the time ever since me becoming cancer free. And I'm not, you know, a lot of people are like, wow, you know, you've been through a lot. You don't feel embarrassed? No, I don't feel embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel no way about it. It's like I'm providing.
Why would you feel embarrassed?
I don't know why that question
Yeah, I
was
was
to me.
about
Like,
to say, why would you?
because
why would you feel embarrassed?
I don't know. And I was like, yo, what? Nah, I'm not embarrassed at all. Why would you even ask me that question? I'm like, yes, I've been through a lot. Because if you see the book have pictures and everything of my scars and my surgery and everything. And a friend of mine was like, why would you put all those pictures in there like that? You're not embarrassed? I'm like, no, I'm not embarrassed. I'm giving you a hard look at prostate cancer and the survival of it. You know, that's my goal, to wake people up like, yo, this could really happen to me. I don't want this to happen to me. So wake up, correct your life. You have your chances now. Your opportunity is now. You know what I'm saying? Go get that checkup. Go get the PSA test done. If you're fine, change everything in your life. Change the quality of your life. Change the people in your life. Start eating healthy, live healthy, meditate, seek a therapist. You don't have to walk around with all that pain in your life. Like I said earlier, Montefiore had this retreat for anybody that's going through any traumatic experiences in their life. It's a retreat for 3 days that is free for Montefiore employees. Let me tell you something, man. When I went to this retreat and I told my story and everybody congratulated me, I had to sit there and listen to everybody else's story. Now, mind you, these are doctors, nurses, social workers. Every walk of life in the medical field was at this retreat, carrying baggage and pain. Every day, you would never know it. And it was crazy to me. I'm like, they take care of patients. How they not right? And they take care of patients every day, but they human. They're human. So it was like people was in pain from diseases, deaths in the family, traumatic experiences as a child that they carry to the day. We all living in pain right now. Every one of us. So my advice is do something about it before it affects your health, your family, or your life. The help is there. Just seek the help. Go online, see a therapist, talk to a therapist, call your doctor on the phone, say, listen, I need a checkup. I want to know if I'm okay or not. You know, go see a doctor. You get one life. Just one. You can't rewind, you can't pause, you can't do none of that. God loved me enough to bless me with two. And I'm using my second chance at life to help and inspire others, and I'm doing that. So I thank God every day for this opportunity and to be a testimony for others. And no, again, I am not embarrassed by what I've been through. I'm not ashamed to share my story to others, because that's what God used me for. And I'm going to do it every chance I get. So thank you.
Someone on Facebook asked, is your book on Amazon? Like, how can they get a copy of your book?
It's on Amazon. Type in the title, Tragedy into Triumph, Surviving Prostate Cancer by Russell Smith. I can share the cover of the book right here. This is it. This is it. It's right on Amazon.
Okay, and you published this book yourself?
Yes, it is, self-published.
So I appreciate the person who you said, okay, yeah, the person who was asking said, thank you, they got it.
Okay.
I appreciate the person who you said they told you to write a book and put your story down. I truly appreciate that.
Yeah, that was my cousin. He was like, you've been through a lot. He said, listen, you could inspire others, write a book. And like I said before, I was so reluctant because I didn't want to put myself out there like that. But he convinced me, listen, you've been through a lot, inspire others, man. I was like, I said, okay. So, I said, you know what, you onto something. I was like, okay, I'll write it. So then when I was halfway through with the book, he said, you know what, you should put some pictures of your surgery as well. I said, whoa, no. I said, now you're going too far. You know what I'm saying? He was like, no, you got to show people the impact of what you've been through, man. I was like, I said, okay. I said, you know what, you're right. And shout out to my cousin, Russ Fleming. Russ Fleming is my cousin, and he was a big inspiration to me during that fight, So it wasn't for him, it would be no book. So I credit him with everything. The book, testimony, the inspiration, everything. Yeah, because I was going through it, and he's the one that called me every other day to inspire me, to inspire others. So I thank him for that.
Powerful.
Thank you, brother. I just hope it really opened up people's eyes, not only men, but women as well, to share with their male family members and their family. Just take care of your health, man. We take it for granted every day. It's like we deal with stresses of life every day, and you're consuming the wrong foods and drinking the wrong things, and some people are smoking. All that's going to affect your health at some point. You do that every day or every other day, and 20 years later, you're on a respirator.
I realized I was talking, but I was on mute.
Okay.
So just to backtrack a bit, because a couple of people have joined, and also you were saying that there was a history of cancer in your family anyway, so you were hypervigilant about it anyway. So what would you say to young men about learning about their medical history and examining themselves?
Oh yes, that's very important. Talk to your family members, your parents, your grandparents, and find out what illnesses or diseases run in the family. It's very important. You need to check the family history of any type of illnesses or diseases that could affect your health. So as a young man, actually question your parents and grandparents, and then take it from there. Then contact a doctor and get a full checkup. And no matter how young you are, like you could be 30, 35, 40, you could still have signs of cancer in your body. God forbid. But there's only one way to find out is get a full checkup and ask your doctor for the PSA. Please, please. It could change your life. It could save your life. So that's my advice.
Yeah, I guess going back to, I don't know if it was you or Brother Terrace who talked about the hardness of men who don't want just gonna tough it out. I'm not gonna, you know, do all that. I'm just gonna, tough it out.
Yeah, that
You
was
know.
Terrence. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. How
But he was
to,
right. He was right.
how to let them know you don't have to tough it out, find out what's wrong. Or, but it doesn't make you soft or anything to take care of your health.
Correct. But again, like I said, we as not only men, but as Black men, we are raised to not do that for some reason. We are raised to be macho and masculine and just swag and not have to worry about nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? And that is so ignorant in thinking that way. But that's how we was brought up. So I'm urging all the men out there, like, get rid of that nonsense, man. Just get rid of all of that. Because if you don't take care of your health, how you gonna take care of your family? How you gonna take care of yourself? Your health is wealth. I know it's a saying, but it's real. Your health is pure wealth. So just focus on that. Because if you're not healthy, you can't do nothing else. You can't make no money. You can't go to work. You're in a hospital. You got all these diseases and illnesses. How you gonna take care of your family? How you gonna be there for your family? You can't do nothing. So it starts with you. It starts with you taking your health extremely serious. And you will have the opportunity to do it until it's too late. That's my advice.
Wow. Wow. Like I said, this has been so profound, so absolutely profound. Just kind of scrolling through here. Yet people are like, how can they reach you? How can they contact you if they want you to speak? So many likes. How can people contact you if they want you to speak to their group or organization?
Contact me on Instagram.
At the MetaNet?
Yeah, at the MediNet United on Instagram. Yes.
Okay. And do you have any upcoming in-person speaking engagements for the public?
No, not right now. No. I just have an engagement coming up with the Montefiore Cancer Center, the BOW program. It's not set in stone yet. They got to get back to me about a date and time, but the talks are there. So I'm just waiting.
Okay. Let's see. I'm just kind of scrolling through both things here. Okay. Mr. Terrace, any other comments before we kind of wrap up this powerful, transformative, and profound session this evening? I think you're muted. We can't hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was talking. It was muted. No, pretty much said a lot of what I was thinking about. This is a powerful transformation Thursday. Thanks for having me on. I just want to. He needs no encouragement from me. He was the one that went through it and everything, and to hear his testimony is powerful. I just want to throw my 2 cents in there about us in terms of giving support, because as you know, Abby, now that's the stuff that I talk about. You know what I'm saying? You know, how can we treat each other better so that we can heal? And in his case, this was a medical illness, obviously, and I'm talking about emotional illnesses that we have in terms of needing to heal. But they're like two sides of the same coin. So this is great. I'm glad to be a part of this, and I wish you all the best, brother. I really do.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you all met at the men's event. I know for myself, I saw someone with the book, and I said, "Oh, he must be here." So, so I'm glad that we've had this chance to interact as well. And oops, wait, somebody has another question. Um, oh yes, someone said this is very powerful. Thank you for sharing your story and continue to say your prayers daily. And just going back to what you said earlier when you were with the doctors and your experience with them, did you feel a sense of disappointment with the doctors with their initial misdiagnosis?
Well, it was one doctor here in the Bronx, the urologist. I was very disappointed. After I became cancer free, I contacted a lawyer because he misdiagnosed me. And the lawyer said, well, you're fine. If something was wrong with you, then you would have had a case, but you're fine. So you can't sue this man. So I was like, okay, no problem. No problem. So and I found out later that had I took his diagnosis and went ahead with getting a Lupron shot for the rest of my life, I found out later that he would be getting paid for that. Through my insurance, he would be getting paid for every shot he gave me.
The doctor would have been getting paid for.
Yes,
Wow,
yes.
wow.
And that's
And
why
this
he
is.
told me, don't seek no other opinion.
Mhm,
If any of the
mhm.
urologists is gonna tell you the same thing, because he would be getting paid for every shot he gave me every 3 months for the rest of my life.
Wow.
Yes. Which is to me is evil, pure evil. Um,
So,
I couldn't sue him. I couldn't sue him.
wow. And this was after you yourself diagnosed and felt something is wrong. And this is the doctor that you went to, and he's the one that you went to twice, who said that you had cancer.
Correct.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Wow.
And thank
Wow.
God, listen, thank God my divine spirit said, listen, man, this ain't it for you. Keep fighting. And that's what made me call other cancer hospitals here in New York City. And Sloan
And and
Kettering.
and those doctors said that it was cancer, but it wasn't spreading. I just.
Correct. It was not in my bones. It was arthritis that was in my bones.
Oh, so you did have the cancer, but what you were feeling was what you had in your bones with arthritis.
Correct.
Wow.
It was the cancer was only in the prostate. It wasn't in my bones at all. It didn't spread to any other organs in my body at all. At all. So Sloan Kettering just removed the prostate and the cancer. I had 2 cancer tumors that was growing in my prostate. And they removed everything. And I was perfectly fine. I was cancer free after that. You know? If I had not did that, who's to say what my life would be right now? Because that Lupron shot is strong and it kills certain things in your body. It's a powerful cancer drug. And I'd have been still on that to this day. For what? For no reason at all.
Wow.
Exactly. Exactly. So when I tell you God was in my corner, oh, he was in my corner.
So you have to get shot with it first in order for you to be able to sue.
Correct. I would have had to get shot with that first, and then also something would have to been going wrong with me for me to sue. But being that I was perfectly fine and cancer free, there was nothing I can do. There's nothing wrong with me.
I love our legal system.
Correct. Correct.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Oh,
Exactly.
and someone commented that one of their best friend's husbands is on that shot. So for you to say that this doctor would be getting paid each time,
From the insurance. He would have been getting paid every time he would have gave me that shot. And for what? For nothing. Because it was no cancer in my bones. He'd have been getting paid for nothing and slowly destroying my life.
mm, mm,
Because
mm.
that Lupron kills the testosterone in every man's body. It kills it. Look up Lupron. Tell them to look up Lupron. And you'll see the pros and the cons.
And was that the only recommendation that the doctors gave you?
Well, the urologist here in the Bronx, yes. Yes. So I went to Sloan Kettering. And they did a total examination on me. I mean, they went above and beyond to make sure that the diagnosis was correct or incorrect. And when they came back to me, it was like, urologist in the Bronx is wrong. Yes, you do have prostate cancer, but it's still within the prostate. There's not cancer in your bones at all. It's arthritis. So we could save your life. I lost it. I lost it. I started crying like a little baby. I was like, wow. I said, wow. Yeah. So I urge everyone, don't accept any diagnosis any doctor give you. Always seek a second and third opinion to make sure this is your health and your life. You can't play around with that. He's a doctor. You know, I mean, he sees a million patients a week. Never just accept a diagnosis any physician giving you. Always seek a second and third opinion to make sure that it is what it is. And then again, also seek any holistic treatment as well. If you can like Google or punch up any holistic treatment that can combat any illness or disease that they're giving you, then I suggest you do that as well. Do your homework, because this is your life, not theirs, yours. So fight for it.
Woo, that's just a woo. That's wow, wow.
Yeah,
I'm really feeling impacted by, not just this diagnosis, but saying this is what you have to do, and they're getting paid for it. So it's like, what's your motivation? Is it for getting paid or for your patient's well-being?
correct. And I learned something too. Like patient care don't exist in healthcare anymore. I'm sorry to say, but it doesn't. It's all about the numbers and the money. I'm sorry to say that, but it's the truth. So that's why everyone, you're a patient with a doctor. I mean, do your own homework. Also do your homework on that doctor and research the diagnosis he gave you. Do your homework. It's your life. Fight for it. I mean, it's so simple. Just fight for your own life. That's it.
Um, Amazing, amazing, raw, profound, transformative, just so many things, so many.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. It's my
Um,
pleasure.
and again, Mr. Terrace, thank you for your sparkling, insightful contribution. Yes, because this is a condition that is definitely running rampant in our communities.
Yes, it
So
is.
definitely need
Yes, sir.
to find ways to address it. So I want to thank you
thank you again for being here. Again, this is Mr. Russell Smith. He is the author of, what is the title again? Can you show the title of the book?
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Tragedy,
Promote,
tragedy
promote,
to
promote.
triumph,
Tragedy into
into
triumph.
triumph, surviving prostate cancer.
And Mr. Smith is a New York resident, so you know he's already got that toughness.
Exactly.
So thank you so very much for being here. I'm glad we were finally able to make this happen.
Yes,
So
so much.
thank you. Thank you for being the speaker this week. And please, what is the site or the Instagram where people can find you?
The Medinet United on Instagram.
So the MEDINET United on Instagram.
Yes, it's THEMEDI and as in Nancy, ET, United. It's my social networking site for healthcare workers that's on Instagram that you can reach me on, and I'll get right back to you.
Okay. MEDINET United. Okay, I just typed it here. Oh, and someone asked, how is your arthritis now?
Oh, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Again, I changed my diet, I exercised, and no signs of it now. God bless me.
So a clean bill of health now. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we're waiting to see when you'll be on television next. Please post that.
Okay.
Yeah, if you, I would definitely like to see, the interviews, that you've done on the media. Mr. Strength, if you're ever doing something down in Philadelphia, related to men's empowerment or wellness, perhaps Mr. Smith might be able to work something out because, men all over in our communities need to hear this message and hear this information. Okay. Okay, so thank you all so very much for being here. This was Transformation Thursday. It was a little delayed, but worth every word. I know probably more people will be reaching out when they see the replay here, and it will be posted on my Bronx Holistic Healing YouTube channel, and it is on my Instagram. And for everyone watching, Transformation Thursday happens every Thursday. I don't know, 7:10, 7:15. Just watch for the notification. Just watch. I'll be
Right.
on. I'll be on eventually. But this session was definitely like the essence of Transformation Thursday. It was transformative, a transformative testimony. Thank you for
Thank you for
sharing.
having me.
Thank you. Yes, thank you everyone for tuning in. And as always, I'd like everyone to remember, oh, before I do my commercial, ladies, on Sunday, August 13th in the Bronx, the Womb Chat. Love your womb, love yourself. Let's explore our healing. Let's explore self-love. Let's explore the necessary self-care that we need to reconnect and to revitalize ourselves. So that is on Sunday, August 13th, in the Bronx. And you can follow my Instagram or reach out to me for more information. Thank you for tuning into this week's Transformation Thursday. And as always, I like to remind you, if no one has ever told you, remember that we are all a spark of the divine. Thank you. Have a fantastic night.
Have a good night.
Good night.